Salute the flag.
Crazy then. You're telling my song on TV.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now can I have a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A32B, hiring of a public employee?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Walsh, aye.
Colbeth, aye.
Macedo, aye.
Point of order, shouldn't this be in public?
No.
I actually called the SAU this morning to ask if it was public or non-public, and they said that it was posted as public.
It's posted as a public, but having talked to Bob, we've decided that the best thing to do is to go into a non-public with this, have this discussion, come back in, and then explain, you know, basically what we were talking about, because we're going to be naming people, using people's names, so we have to go into non-public.
But we're not hiring anybody. We're discussing
But we may be
the
talking
process.
about, we may be talking about certain people, who's available, et cetera, et cetera.
If I may, if we could go in non-public for a few minutes anyways, we're not going to spend any time in non-public, and then come out and share all the information with everybody so you have it.
Okay.
Today is the...
6.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be good. Thank you.
I certainly wouldn't want my reputation tarnished.
Who has entered into an agreement with SE 41, Milton, and Wakefield?
64.
64, I'm sorry, 64. It's very dangerous when you use the numbers, and I usually don't, so 64, thank you. To be able to talk about advertising and interviewing and hiring a superintendent beginning July 1st, 2013. So the process is that we have already advertised the position for this school district, and if you go on to see the posting in one place, if you go on to schoolspring.com, you will see superintendent position for SAU 64. And I'm going to suggest that we do some other advertising. I will be asking the chairperson for the name, or someone can help me with the name of someone that I can have as a contact in the district, because I think as of tomorrow I would like to also advertise this on Ed Jobs, New Hampshire. But in order to advertise on Ed Jobs, that has to come from somebody in the district that I'd be glad to talk to tomorrow. All the application materials, as you look at School Spring, everything will be submitted by candidates online. We won't take any paper copies. We're trying to save some trees and the process. Also, that prevents the possibility of all kinds of copies of my resume, if I was applying, to be all over the place, and people losing them, not being updated. It prevents the possibility of a secretary or a clerical someplace having to worry about things coming in and stapling things and things getting lost. So everything's online, which is a very clean process. And then once the position right now is advertised, I believe, until February 27th. And I'm also going to suggest that we advertise in the AASA, which is the American Association of School Administrators, in Education Week online for 30 days from now until the end of this month. And the process will be that people will see that, they will submit their materials in School Spring. We will look at those, screen people for certification issues, experience, and really talk about the kind of people that we would like to set up an interview committee with. There has been some talk about in the district doing a survey of, and correct me if I'm wrong please, doing a survey of employees in the district to get an idea of what they would like to see for qualities in a new superintendent. So we'll collect that, we'll look at that, and that's really the basis of us developing questions, interview questions. There will be interviews conducted and recommendations made back to the school board. The school board is the body that hires the superintendent, makes the final decision. And again, we may talk about some other strategies, for instance, having final candidates come to the district and meet people, be interviewed, meet people in the community, whatever. And we want to make sure that they have an understanding when they apply. They have an understanding of the school district, the number of schools, the number of students, the programs you offer. We always talk about challenges, but we also talk about all the good things that happen, successes in the district, and be able to move the district forward. I believe when you look at the school spring posting that I have on there, it says we're looking for an experienced educator to come to the school district. We're looking for somebody ideally that has been a teacher, a school administrator, and maybe had experience as a superintendent of schools, who will buy into the community and really be active in the community as well.
Can I ask a quick question?
Ann, go ahead.
School spring, is that just for administrators, and is that a nationwide thing, or just this particular area? Or
It is not just for administrators. Nationwide, I don't know.
or
that.
is it?
It's I don't know the answer to that, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it seems the School Boards Association has been using School Spring for the past 3 or 4 years that I know of.
Okay, is that like very similar to the Ed New Hampshire?
Exactly,
It is.
but instead of the Ed Week, usually it says apply now,
Mhm.
and you either upload your materials to that. It's very similar to that, except that we're just trying to get away from paper copies of everything.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, that doesn't mean that when we all meet and we have some finalists that we won't make a paper copy to look at. That's when we do that.
Mhm.
But instead of having copies of resumes floating around for the next several weeks,
Okay,
because it's also, we talk about confidentiality, we talk about some great questions, and I think we need to be respectful to people who apply.
okay. Thank you.
What have you been getting for applications for superintendents in your searches?
In other searches?
Right.
I think I said this before, the pool is not very big.
Mhm.
And that's no secret, because I believe that all school districts are having difficulty attracting candidates, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that people aren't as mobile as they used to be. I mean, people aren't moving, although I did talk to somebody today from another state, but people aren't as easily moved from one state to here, for instance, or anywhere in the state, because of families, because of economics, because of real estate, whatever. So all those things come into play, where I think years ago, not too long ago, people were willing to do that. So the pool, the answer to the question, Madam Chairwoman, is the pool is not that big, but that's why we're going to work hard to find the right candidate.
Is there an average of number of candidates you've been getting in different searches? Can you say you're getting 10 applicants, 15?
I would say the average is about 12.
Do you search across the country, or do you across New England? Or
Yes.
How far does your search
Yes.
go?
Right now it's been, the position has been listed on School Spring, which goes out nationally. It's been listed on the School Boards Association website, which is, they share that with other states, so that's national. It's there's been a fax of the posting go to all the school districts, SAU offices, so that's probably hanging somewhere in the SAU office. And when we go to Ed Week and the other areas, then it will be posted nationally. But again, we used to do a national search because that really attracted people from California, Texas, and wherever. And we're seeing that even with a national search, people are not as willing to move from those distances to come to a small state.
Did you want us to write down the leadership qualities that the board is looking for? Or, I mean, are you going to go through that now, or do you want us to do it another time?
Well, I think
Or would we take
another
the
time.
survey?
Yeah,
Well,
or would we take the survey?
we can do the survey, so we can list that. So the two questions that would appear are what qualities do you want to see in a new superintendent? And that's something based around leadership. And I'd be glad to do that and send a copy to you and have the board look at it. And if it's acceptable, then we'll get it out to everybody. And I want to do that right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I mean, tomorrow or Friday, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have everyone's email?
Was that 12, an average of each search that you've been
Yes.
getting on?
Yes.
Do you have
The
everyone's
same
email,
12?
Bob?
No, but there are some similarities. People will apply for different positions because they're looking for a superintendency and they don't get one, so they apply to another one. So, but the average is about 12 applications, and there could be more. I mean, we could be very surprised.
Do you have everybody's email, or shall I email that to you?
I don't. Can you send that to me if
I will.
you wouldn't mind doing that? I appreciate it. Thank you. So what I will do is a survey. It's just a one-page survey with a couple of questions on it. Send it to all of you, and if it looks good, can you just email me back and say, okay? And then I am looking for a contact person in the school district, a secretary, assistant principal, somebody.
Kathy Vigu at the SAU office will be able to help you with the ed job things.
Kathy?
Kathy Vigu, yeah. Or Kathy Bordeaux.
I'd rather have Kathy Vigu do it.
I would too.
Okay.
Kathy is out sick this
She's-
week. I don't know if she'll be back
Well,
tomorrow.
that's why I said
Oh.
Kathy Bordeaux, because I knew
Oh.
Kathy Vigu is
All
sick.
right.
But that ed jobs hasn't even gone up yet, so.
No, it hasn't, and the reason, and Priscilla and I talked about that, it will be up tomorrow, as long as I can get through to one of the Kathys.
One of the Kathys, yeah. Try Vigu first.
Okay.
I just
But it-
say
but it-
that because she normally handles that type of
Right.
processing of employment applications.
Right, but the
So I
position's
know-
been advertised for at least a week, if not more, on School Spring and through the School Board Association. I mean, the word's out there, so.
Any apps?
Sorry?
Any applications yet?
Not as of last night,
Okay.
but that's not to worry about yet.
Anybody have any
And
questions
what
for
was the
Bob?
deadline?
27th.
The 27th. And if we need to, when we get closer to the time, if we need to extend that, we can. There's always the possibility that if you're not satisfied with the pool of people that applied, we'll talk and talk about extending that or re-advertising. We are not beneath trying to recruit people. I don't know whether you'll have any inside candidates or whatever, but we will look at that when that happens, if it happens. But recruiting people, because sometimes we know through principals or whatever, we know somebody who's out there who's said, you know, I'm looking for a job as a superintendent in a small district, and they just aren't looking through School Spring or Ed Jobs or whatever, and they need just a little arm twisting, so to speak. But
So,
Go ahead.
do you have any other searches at the moment in this area? Is the New Hampshire School Association conducting any other searches?
I don't believe the School Board Association does. I know that Northwood has a search open through NESDEC, which is another organization. None in this area that I'm aware of.
Thought I was reading in the Conway Times, one was just offered, there was a search. Can't remember where it was, but I think it was up north. So I wasn't sure either.
I know Messinic,
No, it's been awarded.
It has.
It's been chosen.
Messinic has been chosen?
No,
Oh,
the person, it's not
okay.
Messina.
Yeah, there are probably others, and I know that you at one point talked about maybe doing the search yourself, not going with the school boards or anybody else. I mean, there are people doing lots of different things, but I can tell you that the pool, it makes it even more difficult when you do it yourself because you don't have the advertising capabilities.
Any other questions?
It is getting kind of late in the year for a superintendent search, because normally that's done around December. If in fact we get down to the wire and we have to have a superintendent right away, as far as the New Hampshire School Board Association and the amount of money that we're paying for this search, if it doesn't work out, at what point are we able, are we going to be able to open this back up come fall?
Somebody asked that to Ted last time we were here, and I don't remember what he said with that. Do you?
I thought he said it would, Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I think he said he, yes.
If we don't find anybody now,
We,
that
you
would
continue.
Yeah.
continue.
Okay, yeah, and I believe that's, I
And
just
when
want
we
to
were
make sure.
satisfied.
Right.
I'm just looking at
Yes,
spending $10,000 and then
Exactly.
not working
Yeah.
out, and
Oh,
then having to start over
Well, he said
again.
even if the person you get, you're not happy with, then they'll come back.
That's correct, he
so-
did say that.
At no
Yeah.
That's
additional
right,
cost.
he did. I just
Right.
want to make sure I'm
Yeah.
right.
Anybody
you.
else got any questions of Bob? No?
So tomorrow, once I get everyone's email and I send you something, you'll have my email. I'm going to put my phone on my phone number, please. Please feel free if you have a question, please feel free to call me or whatever. I'd be glad to talk to you about that because I want to keep the process open. I want to keep the process going and moving and involve all of you so you know what's happening with the process. Again, I always say this, even though we're looking for a good superintendent, a great superintendent, we're trying to really keep the focus on kids, the community, on families, and that's really, so you can't lose sight of what the prize is here. So,
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, Bob, for coming.
Thank you very much.
okay, thanks. Talk to you soon.
I'll email you tonight, and give you those addresses.
Great, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other business to come before this joint board?
I don't think so.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. D'Agostino?
See ya. Stay. You're welcome to stay. You can join the public.
What did you do this? Did you do your presentation?
Yeah,
Thanks.
On yourself?
yeah,
You did a good job.
yeah, I think so. But we lucked out.
Okay.
I think we lucked out.